Okay, so let's unpack this really interesting idea about waking up between, say, 3 and 5 a.m.
Right.
That might be more than just, annoying broken sleep.
Definitely more than an annoyance,
Yeah.
according to some.
Yeah, we're looking at Brent Zeman's article, Awakening at Dawn, A Divine Call to Intentional Living. He's a respected voice, and he suggests this time isn't just disruptive, it could actually be a really significant window for personal growth.
It's quite a perspective shift, isn't it? Usually you wake up then and the first thought is, ugh, how do I get back to sleep? Or what's wrong?
Exactly. How do I fix this?
Yes. Zeman flips that. He's proposing we see it perhaps as an opportunity, something presented to us almost deliberately.
Right. So our mission here for you listening is to really dig into Zeman's view. Like, what does he think we can gain from paying attention during these hours?
Maybe find some clarity, a better sense of direction.
That seems to be the idea. And here's the bit that really jumps out. He calls this seemingly inconvenient time a divine summons, almost like an invitation.
That divine invitation, yeah. And if you think about why this time might feel different, well, the quiet is obvious.
True. The world is asleep.
Mostly. Fewer distractions, fewer demands. Your mental space, it just feels different, quieter.
Which could make it better for looking inward, right? For, connecting differently with your own thoughts.
That's the argument. Zeman uses this pretty evocative phrase. He calls this 3 to 5 a.m. window a divine portal.
Wow, okay, a portal.
Yeah. It's just the quiet creates this unique space for what he terms spiritual communion, maybe even breakthroughs.
It really challenges that default feeling of just being annoyed that you're awake. Makes you wonder, is there something more happening here?
So, okay, if we go along with this idea that waking up then isn't just random, what does Zeman say we should, do about it?
Well, he shifts it from being an interruption to being a summons to engage in intentional prayer. Intentional prayer.
Okay, and he's specific, not just sort of mumbling half asleep. He stresses fervent, targeted prayer. Active, directed.
Like having a clear focus.
Exactly. Gives examples, praying for the well-being of people you care about, actively seeking favor for your projects, or directing thoughts towards peace in difficult situations. It's about focus.
There's a sense of agency there, isn't there? It's not just passive wishing. It's using that quiet time for focused intention.
Right.
He even suggests, and this is a big claim, that this kind of prayer can shift the fabric of the spiritual realm.
Which is a profound idea. Whether you share that specific belief or not, it shows how much power he attributes to this focused practice in those hours.
And he links this intentional prayer to something else, strategic alignment.
Okay, how so?
He sees praying then as a way to tap into divine strategy, to sort of align yourself with what he calls heaven's agenda.
So bigger than just personal requests, like seeking guidance. Yeah, finding a broader direction. And he offers some practical advice, too. Focus on releasing your problems, not just, turning them over and over in your mind.
That's hard to do sometimes, especially when you're awake like that.
It is. But he emphasizes making specific requests. If you need wisdom, ask for wisdom. If it's healing, ask for healing. Be specific.
That targeted approach seems key to his whole idea for this time. He says it's an opportunity to step into authority and command your day, before the day's demands crowd everything out.
Setting the tone early.
Yeah. And this next bit is very practical. Keep a notebook or maybe your phone nearby.
For capturing ideas.
Exactly. He suggests that if you wake up with a thought, an insight, maybe even at 3:37 a.m., he says it could be important. Instructions or strategies, maybe.
And you need to grab them before they disappear.
Right. Because, as he puts it, inspiration can fade with the dawn. So writing them down is crucial.
Makes sense. Fleeting thoughts.
He even goes so far as to call documenting these divine downloads a form of obedience, like honoring the insights you receive.
Honoring the insights. I like that framing. It treats those thoughts with respect.
It implies they might be valuable nuggets, and it's on us to catch them.
Which leads nicely into the idea of proactively shaping your day, doesn't it?
Totally. Zeman suggests waking early gives you this head start, a chance to command your day before it commands you.
Before the emails start piling up.
Exactly. You've already had time for reflection, for setting intentions, before the world wakes up and starts making demands.
And there's a potential advantage there, psychologically at least. While others are asleep, you've, in Zeman's words, already spoken into existence what will transpire.
It allows for that deeper thinking, doesn't it? about your purpose, your direction, without the immediate pressure.
And speaking of deeper thinking, he highlights the early morning as prime time for seeking clarity.
Because it's so quiet.
That stillness outside can kind of mirror a stillness inside, maybe making it easier to tackle those big, profound questions we tend to avoid during the day.
Yeah, the ones that get pushed aside. He gives some powerful examples, too.
Yep.
Asking yourself things like, why am I truly here? Or, what must I become to step into my next season?
Wow, those are significant.
Yeah, and this one, where am I settling when I'm called to soar?
Oof. Yeah, those aren't small questions. They really prompt some serious self-reflection.
They're focused on growth, too, right? Not just dwelling on the past, but looking ahead, actively thinking about a more fulfilling future.
Definitely future-oriented.
And it's not just about thinking. This quiet time, he says, is also for doing. He talks about building in the dark.
Building in the dark. What does that mean exactly? Using these early hours for, well, strategy, planning, organizing thoughts, maybe even starting creative work.
Okay, without the usual daytime interruption.
Right. The key seems to be just starting. Embracing the fact that it might not be perfect, the path might not be totally clear.
That takes discipline.
It does. He talks about faith as moving forward even with low visibility, taking those first steps in the quiet.
And he's pretty clear. Act on it. Don't just let the idea sit there. Start planning, writing, creating, whatever it is, before the sun is fully up.
Get some momentum going.
He has this great line, the most powerful blueprints are often drawn in the dark. It suggests this is the time to prepare, to actively shape the day ahead, not just react to it.
It all seems to tie back to that initial idea of a spiritual wake-up call.
Yeah, he's framing these awakenings not as just, glitches in our sleep cycle.
But as potential divine interference. A nudge, maybe, towards our purpose.
Yeah.
Towards getting clearer.
It makes you think differently about being awake then, doesn't it? Maybe it's not just a random thing.
He suggests that in those quiet moments, when your mind feels alert but your body still wants rest, it's a unique state for introspection. He brings back those big questions. What are you being called to build? Who are you becoming in the process?
And he connects it to the quality of our lives. He says, the quality of your life is often determined by the quality of the questions you ask.
Ah, right. So engaging with these deeper questions, especially in that quiet stillness, could lead to real insights,
Right.
real growth.
So wrapping up Siemens' perspective, he's really asking us to look at that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. window completely differently.
Yeah, ditch the frustration.
Right. See it instead as a potential divine invitation. A time for focused prayer, yes, but also deep reflection and even proactive creation.
And it seems particularly aimed at people who feel ready for something more, right? Those who are, as he puts it, ready to respond to their purpose.
Absolutely. And he leaves us, and you listening, with a really potent question to consider next time this happens.
Which is?
Instead of asking, why am I awake? Ask yourself, what am I here for?
That flips the script entirely.
It really does. It's an invitation to listen, to explore what potential might be waiting in those quiet early hours. Something to think about.